away looking back at Scotch whisky, where it is produced, and particularly to concentrate on the regions and begin to look at why regions can be important in identifying different malt whiskies or different whiskies, and perhaps again maybe showing that perhaps they're not so important as they used to be in terms of differentiation. Friday we're going to look at the question of the importance of water and casks and barley and the maturation process into how different whiskies develop different characteristics and where they get their smell, their taste, their flavour, their appearance from. Something I'm very passionate about because I do drink. Sometimes I drink too much of it, but it is something which I really do enjoy. And first and foremost, therefore, let's remember that spirits are drinks that have been produced by the concentration of alcohol present in the fermented liquid by distillation. Key words coming in there that we have to look at. Mention the word distillation. What is distillation? It's a process that separates the different components or fractions that make up the fermentable liquid and that which is called the alcoholic wash. This introduces us to another technical term, fermentable liquid. Fermentable liquid comes from fermentation, as a result of fermentation. How do we get that? How does that final product emerge? Because remember, it all starts with water. Ordinary water coming from a stream, from a river, from a spring, somewhere in Scotland. That whisky making is dependent on water, barley, its manner of malting, yeast type, and shape of pot still, and the maturation process. But do each and every single one of them play a predominant part, or maybe slightly less predominant part in the actual completion of the final product itself? The longer it stays in the cask, that process is continuing. So I think what they felt was that 3 years was the minimum period necessary to create anything. Now, once that 3 years has passed and we've got Scotch whisky, remember that some of that whisky can be used, it can be drawn off. Our industry is over 150 years old as an industry, and when I use the word industry, I mean a legal industry. Whisky goes back many, many decades, and it has over a long time was maybe something you did in your back garden, something you prepared in your kitchen. It was not necessarily legal. The name comes from the Gaelic Ushka Baya. Gaelic is a Celtic. It's a Celtic language, and it's shared by people in parts of Scotland and Wales and Ireland, and even links back to some parts of France as well. There are two types of various types of whisky. A blended whisky I just mentioned, it's where a number of single malt and grain whiskies are blended together and sold as a proprietary brand. Like, for example, Johnnie Walker Red Label, White Mackay, Famous Grouse, Passport. Then we've got deluxe blending, and this is where the same, again, it's a mix of malt and grain whiskies, but where the percentage of malt whiskies is higher. So it creates a higher quality. For example, Johnnie Walker Black Label, Antiquary, Chivers Regal, very popular one, etc. And then we have single malts. And this is where the malt whisky produced in one distillery and matured in cask for a specific number of years. The whisky takes its name from the distillery, say for example like Glenmorangie or Glenlivet. And if it says in the label 12 years old, that means that that's a malt whisky produced at the Glendale distillery and it's been in cask maturing for 12 years. And now it's been removed and bottled. Over that period of 12 years, it's been changing, it's been maturing. It's like you and me. It's like us. We're born. We're small, lovely little things, cry a lot, and do all sorts of other nasty things at that time.
IIHM. For a great hospitality career, call 98310 50,000.